Music, horror, art, politics, badassery. Welcome to Society 13. Welcome to Prog-Watch, with your one and only host who is the most, Prog-Watch.
Okay, I'd like to thank you all for coming back for the third episode of Prog-Watch. This is your host, the Prog-Squatch, and this week I have some great music from a band from Sweden called Moon Safari. And this is the third episode, and I'd like to thank you for sticking with me if you've listened to all three of them. I'd also like to encourage you to contact me if you have questions or suggestions. Just please keep it polite. You can contact me at bigsquatch@verizon.net. Or I have a Facebook page for Prog-Watch and Prog-Squatch. You can find either of them. They're both spelled with a hyphen, so it's PROG-WATCH or PROG-SQUATCH. Both of those are Facebook pages. As in episode 2, when I had my first guest host, Dave Luddig, I've got another guest host for you this week, and he is none other than the son of the Prog-Squatch, Paul Rousick, my 6'3" 23-year-old son. Anyway, like last time when we told you a little how Dave came to be on the show, well, I'll tell you a little how Paul comes to be on the show. So anyway, a long time ago, me and Paul's mother, well, we were gonna... No, we don't want to go that far back. I don't want to embarrass Paul. But say hello, Paul.
How you guys doing today?
All right, anyway... Paul has been listening to a lot of prog throughout his life, whether he wanted to or not, right?
Yeah. You've always been there playing, your Yes and Genesis, all those kind of groups. Yeah.
You kind of picked it up a little bit along the way, huh?
Yeah. Definitely a little bit influenced by you, but yeah.
With a little of his own taste thrown in, of course. Paul picked up a love for the Beatles and Electric Light Orchestra. I didn't have to encourage him a whole lot along those lines, did I?
Yeah, especially Yellow. I really had a soft spot for them to start off.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got a funny little story, though, about Paul and his twin brother, George. Years ago when they were about maybe like 3 or 4, I used to just, I had young kids. I didn't have a lot of money, so a cheap Saturday night was a couple of beers and go down to the basement, start pulling out records and CDs, and I used to go back and forth between vinyl and then a CD and almost play like DJ and just keep playing song after song. And one time I was down there doing that, and I'm playing a song, and the boys are like, "Daddy, play that song that goes like this," and they're trying to describe this song to me, and I can't figure out what song it is. And I'm like, "Well, is it this song?" Then I start pulling out a CD, and they go, "No, Dad, it's on one of the big black CDs." So yeah, this was back in the day. They knew what CDs were, but vinyl, well, that was something a little foreign to people at that time, even in the mid-'90s. So anyway, I guess we'll move on along here with Moon Safari. They're a group out of Sweden, and they have connections to another great group from Sweden, the Flower Kings. Moon Safari had made a demo in somewhere around 2003, and it came to the attention of Thomas Bowden of the Flower Kings, and he helped them get started. Their first album is called A Doorway to Summer and was released in 2005. And on this album we find them... What do you think, Paul? What do you hear on the first album? What's your overall impression, Paul?
Well, the first thing that stuck out were the harmonies in the song. They were just so layered, they're so complex, and the keyboards were also a pretty big part of it. They're definitely talented, and you can tell.
Yeah, good guitar interplay too on the first album, guitar and keyboard together. Yeah. But overall, I think I'd have to say it has a very Yes. Maybe like a Yes Light kind of sound.
Yeah, for sure. A little lighter, I'd say, though. As far as the keyboards and all that, for sure, they match up pretty on par there.
With Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll hear a lot of the Yes with Yes. You'll hear a lot of vintage synth sounds similar to the stuff that Rick Wakeman was using in the 70s. That seems to be a hallmark here. You'll hear Mellotron. Just a lot of the lead synth lines, they'll sound very classic prog, golden heyday, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we're going to move right along with a song called Dance Across the Ocean from the first Moon Safari album, A Doorway to Summer.
Everybody wants to rock the boat, but when it rains, oh, you give away your coat. If you dance across the ocean, you would see a madman world. Oh boy, it's a madman world. Oh boy, it's a madman world. Take away your favorite toy. Summer landed late one day in June, but winter paid its way that afternoon. If you dance across the ocean, you would see a madman run.
kids, it's way, way past bedtime. The thief left what is still far, far behind. His toy gun was lost, never to be found. If you come across the ocean someday, you might find we're busy selling Sweden to Norwegian.
Okay, so that was "Dance Across the Ocean." What do you got going? What do you think there, Paul?
That was actually my favorite out of the ones we're going to be playing tonight. Just the traveling of the music. It took you on a kind of a journey there, as many of their songs do. But definitely, like I said, my favorite. All their songs, as you'll see as the night goes on, they have this kind of nature theme, and that was a perfect example of one. You know, the ocean and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
It had some weird political undertones in the lyrics that I'm not sure I understand because I don't know much about the politics of Sweden and Norway. But in the last verse, he was talking about something about selling Sweden to the Norwegians or something like that, which like I said, I'm not sure what that has to do with. But overall, I thought this was a really Yes-like track, very much so in the beginning. Lots of synth runs and the interplay with the guitar. You hear mellotron, some good bass, and we get into more acoustic guitar and piano kind of as the track moves along. And as we talked about before, one of the hallmarks of this band is a really polished vocal approach. All the guys in the band sing, and so it's not just like one or two guys overdubbed 5 times. There's actually 5 different people singing in most of these arrangements, which is cool because then they have a really accomplished live show. I've heard some of their live stuff, and they can pull off a lot of this stuff on stage, whereas some bands where you only have the one main singer and maybe one person who can sing a little backup, they do like 10 tracks, but then it comes time to do it live and it's a little lacking. Anyway, other notes of mine is very accomplished, of course. Nice instrumental passages throughout the middle of the song. And when you think it's ended, it comes into that little dreamlike section. Wake your children or something like that, wake your kids. It's way past your time. That's where he got into the political thing at the end of that verse there. That I don't know. It was a little weak to me. It just, I don't know about the voice. I don't know that I like that particular thing, but overall I really did like the track. So now I'm going to move things along with a song from the second album. This album's called Blomljud, something like that. It's Swedish. And basically, from what I understand, it means flower sound. Again, you're getting into these pastoral kind of images and very positive, which is kind of weird for a Nordic or Scandinavian prog band, whatever you want to call that region. A lot of them, because I don't know if it has to do with the really cold temperatures and not much light certain times of the year, but some of them seem to have a more gloomy approach to it. They're a lot more melancholy and a little more down, heavy. These guys seem like they're trying to be the antidote to all that, be a little more positive and uplifting. But anyway, this album, Blomljud, I'm not good with some of these foreign names. But anyway, it was released in 2008, and this is probably their highest rated among prog fans. This is their highest rated album without a doubt. It's a double album. There was a lot of material on it. There's even a really long 31-minute piece that's pretty much of a centerpiece for the whole thing. But, that's getting a little long to be playing on this show here. I'd like to be able to give you a little smattering from several different albums instead of just playing one piece of music from the band. There's so many great songs on this album. I would highly recommend that you listen to it. Again, you're going to hear a nice up-tempo tune here with nice interplay between the instruments and, again, great vocals. So the song I picked from this album is called Lady of the Woodlands, and again, it's from the 2008 album called Bloomjud. Okay, nice kind of positive, uplifting kind of piece again, right, Paul?
Yeah, a little lighter than the first, I think. Like you were saying, with them being like the shining light in the darkness, they follow through with that in this song and even some of the next few. But we have one later that'll be a little heavier, which I enjoy. but we'll get there.
Okay. Maybe this time would be a good time to talk about the members of the band. So it looks like, what, 3 of these guys, huh?
Yeah, about 3 of them look like they're brothers. Akison.
Akison or Akison.
Akison.
We have Simon Akison on keyboards and lead vocals. Pontius Akison, guitars and backing vocals. And Sebastian Akison, keyboards, percussion, and backing vocals. And they are joined by Petter Sandstrom on acoustic guitar and lead vocals. Johan Westerlund on bass and backing vocals. And Tobias Lundgren, drums, percussion, and backing vocals. So the next album seemed to have a theme of a relationship breakup, but from listening to it, it's still really like uplifting music, which is kind of contrasting with some of the lyrics, I thought. But the name of the album is Lover's End, and it was released in 2010. The song I'm going to play is the title track of the album. It's Lover's End Part 1. There is a second part that closes out the album, but for tonight we're just going to play the first Part 1. So here we go.
Saturday night and you're dressed to the nines, so we'll walk with you home tonight. The one you could always turn yourself to is out on a late night rendezvous. Guess you've known for a while that I'm dying inside, and the silver tongue's lost all its words. What you hear so build up takes a night to tear down, and this night will haunt me for the rest of my life. 'Cause you couldn't change my world. She didn't see the best in me. She couldn't change my world. She'll never understand. Change my world. Change my you always saw the best in me. Only you could change my world. Change my I didn't understand. I will try to remember the halcyon days, forget that I ever hurt you. And if we'll meet again someday, could we say the things we never said? Now I'm stuck in the bar
right, once again, that's Lover's End Part 1 from the Lover's End album in 2010, Moon Safari. What do you think, Paul?
That was definitely a love song, real slow and pretty, definitely getting us out of the flower-sniffing squatch here, and, the petting bunnies and all that. So.
The squatch is basically a peaceful beast.
Yeah, slower and pretty, like I said.
Yeah, I think overall on this album, you hear they're putting even more emphasis on their vocal arrangements. And I think the arrangements are a bit more sophisticated when you get to this third album. Although there was a lot of good vocals on the second Blomljud album, too. One of the things I liked about this track, though, it's very Yes and Glass Hammer-ish. And there was some guitar volume swells in the middle there that definitely reminded me of, some work by Steve Howe from Yes, of course. And I really liked the quiet coda kind of ending with the acoustic guitar, and it was probably Mellotron flute. But again, as I said in the first show, I love Mellotron and I love flute, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So anyway, I guess we're going to move on, huh?
Yeah, what's next? Barfly's coming up.
Barfly.
Yeah, this is a heavier one, getting away from those softer songs there.
Yes, it is. It's from the fourth album called Himmelbakken, which I believe loosely translates to Heavenly Hill. This album finds them dealing with a lot of, it seems like a lot of themes from childhood. And as Paul said, this song has a nice heavy riff to it. So I think we're going to let it rip, and we'll parse it a little afterward. Barfly from Himmelbakken, 2013.
We're all widows and orphans here.
So again, that was Barfly by Moon Safari from their Himmelbacken album. Okay, Paul, what do you have to say about it?
That riff on there, that bass, that was really exciting for me. When that first kicked off, I really enjoyed that. And like any of their other songs, the time signatures are changing up, often enough throughout the song.
There's some quirkiness to this song.
For sure.
The main riff, I know this, you may not have listened to a lot of them, but it seemed a little King Crimson-ish to me, with the guitar and then like the mellotron interjecting into it. And again, the quirkiness, especially in the middle. There was a really nice organ solo that went into a nice guitar solo. And if you listen to this track, you're gonna. One of the things that I liked that I heard was there was some pretty nice slide guitar work on this song. Obviously, you're gonna see. You can draw comparisons to Steve Howe, and in some ways, some of the work did remind me a little bit of Howe. But I think there was also a little bit of George Harrison thrown into some of those slide licks. What do you think, Paul? You're a Beatlephile.
Oh yeah. They definitely listed. Moon Safari listed the Beatles as one of their,
influences.
One of their influences, along with Genesis. Yes, there were a few others, but you can definitely see that,
especially in the vocals. Songs. But yeah, like I said,
sure.
Even in this one, to me, there were some parts with that slide. It was more George Harrison than it was Steve Howe to me. Anyway, that's going to bring us to the last song that we're going to play today. And it's a little song that I fell in love with the first time I heard, called My Little Man. Now, this ain't prog, okay? I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's not prog. So if you decide to contact me at bigsquatch@verizon.net or at prog-watch or prog-squatch on Facebook, plug ended. If you decide to contact me and flame me about it or whatever, don't bother. I know this ain't prog, okay, but I think it's one of these songs that it's just a fantastic little parent-to-child song. And there's a couple of these songs that, my son said it before, the Prog Squatch is basically a gentle beast, likes to sniff the flowers every once in a while. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Yeah, I'm a loving dad. And as I've gotten older especially, my testosterone level's probably lower than it used to be. You know how these things go. A little gray in the beard, a little gray in the hair on my back, silverback squatch at this point. But, you get a little more contemplative and a little more emotional as you get older. And I have this little list of songs that's, like, to me, the greatest parent-to-child songs ever. This is the first time I heard it. This went right on that list. And I guess while I'm on that topic, I'll share that list with you. One of the other greatest songs, and this is a little bit prog related, Phil Collins from the Tarzan soundtrack, "You'll Be in My Heart." It's a great parent-to-child song. And John Lennon from Double Fantasy, "Beautiful Boy." It's another great parent-to-child song, which I think even takes a sad note just knowing what happened to him shortly after the recording of that album. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and play My Little Man. I think it's a cute little track. I know it's not prog. But if you do have any suggestions for great parent-to-child songs, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on those. If any of you have those, if you want to send me a message, again, Big Squatch at Verizon or the Prog-Watch or Prog-Squatch Facebook pages. So here we go with My Little Man.
My little man, he cannot talk. My little man, he's too young, he cannot walk. My little man, one of a kind. My little man, he is always on my mind. When the dawn arrives, I wake and hear him moan. There beside me lies a son of my own. Though the morning sun is shining in, it never can compare to him. My little man, my everything. My little man, he can be mad. My little man, maybe he got it from his dad. My little man, he often weeps. My little man, I forgive him when he sleeps. He's an angel without a pair of wings, but you can't deny the glory that he brings. If there's one thing I am certain of, he must descend from heaven above. My little man, my little love. He's an angel without a pair of wings, but you can't deny the glory that he brings. Now there's one thing I am certain of, you must descend from heaven above. My little man, my little man, my everything. You are my greatest work of art, my little man. You have my heart.
Yeah, it ain't prog, I know, but still a nice little sweet, heartfelt song. Catchy.
Yeah, real pretty with the acoustic guitar picking there, and just a little kind of love ballad to his little man there.
Xylophone.
Yeah.
I think it sounded like xylophone. Little harmony. Very simple song, but very heartfelt. Very nicely done. So, my little man, who's 6'3" and 23 now. Have anything else to say?
Moon Safari, definitely a band that I enjoyed. A little lighter than I would have liked in some parts, but still enjoyable.
They're pretty light. I have to admit. But we just had two pretty heavy bands on last time, and I figured with your background and a little more of like Yes and Beatles and the Yellow that this was a little more up your alley. I'm trying to pick a band that goes with the guest host for the week.
It fit my personality, maybe. Fit well with me, and I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me, and it was fun.
All right, yeah, and boy, does 20 minutes flies by when we're doing these things. We're having fun, having a home brew, and talking about some good music. And once again, if you like what you hear, find them. They have a Facebook page. They have an official website, I believe. You may have a hard time finding some of their discs through your regular outlets, but seek them out and buy them. Support these guys. So that'll just about wrap things up for this week again. I enjoyed having on my one little man, Paul, and while I'm on the subject, I'd like to give a shout out to his twin brother, my other little man, George, who just re-upped his enlistment in the Army for another 2 years. Here I thought I was going to be able to stop worrying in a couple of months here, but I guess I'm signed up for another 2 years of worrying. No, but for right now, he's in the States, serving his country and making me very proud. And I can assure you, right now I'm worried a whole lot less than I was when he was in Afghanistan. But anyway, shout out to you, George. You want to say hi to your brother?
And love you, George.
Yeah, we love you. That'll do it for this week. Thanks for listening.